I moved to Paris on October 17th, rented this Airbnb apartment the size of a hotel room for twice as much as I was paying for a 2-room apartment in the UK. But anyway, the apartment hunting begins, and it's insane. Here's the time code for those who just want to see the apartments. I totally get you. But for everybody else, let's first take a look at the ways to even like find the apartment. So basically there are 3 main tools, websites: Leboncoin, Zaloger, and Jinka. Leboncoin I feel like is the most popular one out of these, and I've used it the most at first because it drives me crazy. The majority of listings on there is from this company called PandaLock, which basically lures you in onto their own website, which is subscription based, and you have to pay 20 euros every month to get the access to the owners. And how it works is that you create your profile and then the owners contact you or something. Anyway, you have to pay for it. That's all you have to know, and you shouldn't, because the reviews on this company are very bad. People say that they've been paying for like 3 months and nobody has ever contacted them, and they can't contact the customer support of PandaLock. Let me know if you've used it, by the way, because like it looks very attractive, but I'm pretty sure it's like it doesn't work the way they want it to work, I guess. But probably the most annoying thing is that they take up all the space. So if you put on your search like the price and stuff, and then you'll see like 100 listings, like 50 or even more of them would be from PandaLock, which you can't use. And also every single day they repost or renew the listings that you've already seen, so now the new apartments get pushed down even more, and it's just like, can you stop? I'm pretty sure it's not allowed on Leboncoin to do that even. Also, there's another agency which is called Flatlooker and Cozy Home, I guess. Also, they don't even allow you to come and look at the apartment before you sign the lease, which is like, why not? Can I see where I'm gonna be living, like the area around it, and I don't know. So basically, when I first opened these websites, I was like, oh my god, there's so many different apartments and they all look so amazing. But then it turns out it's like out of 100, you're left with 3 potential good ones. Zaloger for me turned out to be the most useless. I don't know, they don't even post that many apartments to begin with, and then they were not the ones that I was looking for specifically. I don't know, it's just mostly, I guess, the personal preference. But the one that I loved was Jinka. It's an app that collects all the different listings from all these different websites in one place, and then you can set your own preferences, and then it will send you notifications whenever a new apartment with your preferences is posted, so you can be in this loop all the time without going to the website and checking it manually every single time, because it's like stressful enough to, like, you know, I'm gonna miss it, I need to check it. So yeah, personally for me it was the best one. So now let's take a look at what I was even looking for. I created this little list when I was still in the UK, and looking back at it, it makes me laugh, but we'll get to that later. So the priority for me was the price, which is up to about 1,500 euros. Preferable location was somewhere on the west, because I've been reading a lot of articles and watching a lot of videos about the sketchiest parts of Paris, not to rent an apartment there, and everybody was saying that this area is the sketchiest, so I tried to look on the opposite side of it. I really wanted to have a separate room for myself because I work from home, but other than that, I also do a lot of DIY, and I need a lot of space for my like clay and yarn and all that stuff. I wanted it to have a lot of natural light, obviously, because first of all, I'm filming videos. Second of all, it's really depressing to live in a dark apartment. And the last priority was a washing machine. Mid priority, a bathtub, which was ranging on priority and mid priority. Like I was living in the UK for 4 years, and I've been dreaming about a bathtub pretty much every single day. It's just like, is it really too much to ask? I don't even need it like to be a full size one. Give me one of those Japanese ones, small like half size bathtubs. I really wanted to have a tumble dryer too. Again, in the UK we had one, and I can never go back. It was the first time having it, using it, and it's amazing. I can never go back to drying my clothes on all those things in the room and stuff. And also preferably I wanted to have a higher floor, because first of all, we've been living in the UK on the first floor, ground floor, whatever you call it, and people were like banging on our windows from time to time, which was very scary but also very annoying. Also, I've been reading a lot of news and stuff about burglaries in Paris, which was a little scary too, so I wanted to be a little higher than the ground floor. And not a priority, but would be nice to have is an air conditioner. I don't know, just wanted to have one. And a balcony or a terrace, some place to go like outside. And that's it. And it quickly turned out that nobody cares about what I want, and this list quickly went out of the window because you will take whatever is given to you. I rented this Airbnb for just a month, and I really didn't want to live here longer. I needed an apartment as fast as possible. And people who are like landlords and the agencies, they take all the time in the world to even update you about the state of the documents or like, are you getting it or not and stuff. Anyway, in my case, I quickly realized that I'm gonna get just whatever they will give me. I had to compromise pretty much everything on my list. So finally, let's take a look at the apartments. So the first apartment that we saw was the area around was not that lively, I guess. It was like a little village feeling to it. Not many shops, not a lot of people even. But the apartment itself was magnificent. It was the best apartment I've ever seen, probably. It was very big. It had ginormous living room, which was also a bedroom, and also 2 separate bedrooms, and then a full kitchen. It was on a very quiet street, so it was perfect for filming or just living even. It was all renovated, it looked perfect, smelled very nice. You could see the Eiffel Tower from the window. It was far away, obviously, but you could see it, even from the shower, by the way. Yeah, I really loved it, but we didn't get it. After 2 weeks, it just said that the landlord decided not to rent the apartment at all, not even like to us specifically, which was a little strange, but I don't know. The second apartment was looking nice on the photos, but we didn't get to see it because the realtor decided not to show up. We agreed to meet at 12 p.m. and then at 12 p.m. they said that they are not coming, which was very nice. It was also raining cats and dogs, and we didn't even have an umbrella. Other than that, it was so far away. You had to walk like along the train tracks, and it was basically nothing there. No supermarkets, no shop. And even though we didn't get to see the place, we decided not to go back and see it because it was very far away. So the next apartment that we saw was really great. It had a huge walk-in closet, which I've never had, and it would probably be amazing to have one because it's a lot of storage. Then there was a pretty big spacious bedroom, which didn't have much going on, like it was a bed and a bunch of pictures or something, but it was nice. And then a separate toilet, and it had a bathtub, which I was just so happy about. It had a lot of like lime scale on the drainage or whatever it's called, and the shower curtain was looking pretty rough, which I wasn't like sure if it's gonna be a problem along the way, like mold and stuff. But the living area was amazing. They had a huge L-shaped couch. The kitchen was built in, and it was like black and wooden, and it looked amazing. There was a lot of different appliances, like a coffee maker, a dishwasher, which I've never had before, and I was very excited to have. One thing I didn't like is the bars on the windows because it feels like jail, and it was a little darker than I would have liked. And also the room. It's an interesting thing that in Paris, is the first time I've ever seen this, they separate a big room with this DIY wall made out of glass, basically, and then they call it a separate room, which is, well, technically I guess it is, but at the same time, it's like there's no soundproofing, there's not even a door. I don't think you can call it like a separate proper room and count it as if you're renting 3-room apartment instead of 2. It was on a more expensive side. It was still in the budget, but but unfortunately it was available from December, like the beginning of December. It would have been 2 weeks after we had to check out from here, which was a little bit inconvenient. So we decided to just like wait and see other apartments and see if we get any of them before applying for this one. The fourth apartment that I saw was in probably the best area that I've been to so far. It was like a business center, but then you go a little further away and it's like a lively street and a lot of shops and supermarkets and all that stuff. But the apartment itself was super small. It looked very nice. It looks good on the video, but it basically didn't have a kitchen. All it had was this small area where you couldn't even put a cutting board on, and the fridge was the size of the fridges in the hotels, which is super small. It didn't have a dishwasher, obviously. It didn't have an oven even. And again, the living room and the bedroom were separated by this glass DIY wall, and it had a separate room which could be used as a walk-in closet or my own room for like working and filming and stuff. It was a little bit dark though, but I guess you can work with that. But the biggest con to this apartment was the absolutely horrifyingly bad smell in the bathroom. It's crazy. I didn't mention it because I didn't even know how to say it. Like, why does it stink so bad here? Or like, what is he gonna say? He's a realtor. He doesn't live here. Probably doesn't know even. It smelled as if a rat was frying cabbage in the sewers. Both of us didn't mention it, but it was like this tension of this question, I felt like it was still present. We get that smell from time to time in the apartment in the UK too, and so I was very familiar with it. So there was absolutely no way I was paying for an apartment which smells like this. The next apartment was also in a not very convenient area, not much was going on around it, but it was pretty big. It had a pretty nice size of the kitchen. They had a full-size fridge, which I realized now you have to like pay attention if they have that. They have an oven and a lot of storage in the kitchen, and a dishwasher, I guess, also a funny looking microwave. It looks like something from like iCarly or Spy Kids, and a pretty big living area with a TV, with a decent sized couch, and a lot of space. The thing is, I couldn't see like how bright it is during the daytime because we were doing it was like 7 p.m. or something. So it had a good sized bedroom with a nice view over like an inner area of the buildings, which I assumed would be quiet, but at the same time there was a child crying during our whole viewing, and you could hear it very clearly, so it made us realize that the child will probably not stop crying in the next, I don't know, couple of years. So that was a bit of a red flag. And then the sound of the ventilation or whatever it is in the bathroom, it was a little too much. I can imagine myself just taking a shower and just screaming this much. But at the same time, it wasn't like a deal breaker. The deal breaker was the fact that it was a private landlord, and the biggest red flag for me personally was the fact that he keeps the security deposit just in his on his bank account. It's not like a security deposit scheme or like a separate company that keeps the money in case we have a dispute, because that's how it works in the UK, and I felt much safer knowing it's not just a person who can run away with my money. So yeah, we decided not to apply for this apartment. So the next apartment was also in this businessy area that I've already went to, but like sort of on the other opposite side, and it was also a nice decent size. It was very similar to the one that was very stinky, but it had a huge fridge, a built-in sort of kitchen situation, and a oven and a dishwasher that I was very happy about, and it looked pretty nice. It didn't have a TV, which I sort of was hoping to have. It had a pretty nice view. Unfortunately, the road is very close, so you will probably hear all the cars and stuff. The bedroom is pretty small too, I guess. The only thing it fits is the bed, so you can't put a table there or anything like that. The shower, like the bathroom area, was pretty huge, I'd say, and then it's like you're walking through it to the other side of the room where it has a dishwasher, where it has a dryer and a washing machine, and then this big corridor thing or with a little bit of storage too. It was a decent size, but at the same time it still was smaller than I was looking for, because I really wanted to have a room to myself. The next one we viewed was magnificent. It was like so bright. It had an amazing green park area right in front of the house. It was a nice day. It was sunny. It looked amazing. It was a little bit like too much going on with the furniture. I don't know why you need two identical tables on such a small space, especially. But again, it was not a two-room apartment. It was separated by this DIY wall. The kitchen was the smallest I've seen, I guess. It didn't have an oven. It didn't have a big fridge. And then it didn't have a bed too. It was a sofa that you just like a convertible, but it did have a bathtub, which I was excited about. Anyway, it was really nice looking and I really liked it, but again, it was super small. It was even smaller than the previous ones. And the last but not least was probably the biggest one, or maybe like the size of the first one. It looked so cool on the photos, and it was pretty nice looking in real life, but in real life it was given the vibe of a like nightclub sort of, or like a cafe thing. I don't know, it's probably like from a personal experience or something. I'm pretty sure people will not think that, but it's just this reflective floor gives me this vibe, and this like dark black and white and red colors, but it's like a big area and has a huge terrace sort of, I guess, and it had a separate room for me to work with a couch. I was very happy that it didn't have any other furniture, because I really don't need it. I want to buy something for myself, like a table and stuff. A good, nice, big bedroom and a huge, well, not huge, but a very decent size bathroom with a bathtub. A lot of space, actually. But the problem was the fact that it was located in a little bit of a sketchy area, I would say. I wouldn't feel very safe going home by myself, like in the evening or even during the day. It was 9 a.m. and I was like a little bit I don't feel like super nice in this area, so we decided not to take it. Also, it was further away than we expected to. So yeah, these are all the apartments that we viewed, and we picked the apartment number 6, or rather they chose us. I guess it's not the worst choice out of all of these. Not the best either, but I'm happy that we were able to rent at least something. And the last little portion that I want to talk about is a little eye-opener about the prices, because it's so freaking expensive. Like, I didn't expect that. I knew Paris is expensive, but it was like, how much do I need to pay for that? So let's break it down. Basically, you have the rent price, which is $1,200 for our apartment. Then you have a security deposit, which is for furnished apartments is twice as much. So for this apartment, it's for $2,400, which is insane. Like, my first security deposit in the UK was £200, which was stolen from me by some dicks. And the next one was $600. Which was like manageable. Okay, then we moved here and the security deposit here is almost 3,000 euros. Like, who has the money like this to just like give and it's gonna be just there? I don't know, it's crazy. But other than that, you have to get a guarantor, without which you will not be able to rent any apartment, pretty much. I've seen a lot of videos and a lot of people were like saying, yeah, you need to get a guarantor, but I've never heard that you have to pay him for the services, and it's not like a £10 or something. For our apartment, we had to pay 700 euros. And on top of that, okay, I get like paying for the services once, but it's like every single year. After you renew the lease, you have to pay guarantor. Like, what new services are you giving me after this year has passed? You can get like a free one from the government, but at the same time, you have to be eligible for it, first of all. But also, not every agency accepts it as a valid guarantor, which is like a whole ordeal too. But there's more. You also have to pay for the insurance of the flat yourself. And you basically are buying subscription, which is like 10-11 euros every month, which doesn't sound like too bad, right? But at the same time, when you have so many other subscriptions and fees to pay, like, it's crazy. And it's the basic one, the one that doesn't like insure you from the break-ins or anything like that. I don't even know what it protects you from. But also, on top of that, you have to pay the agency fees, which for our flat was 600 euros. And then you also have to pay like for your internet and for electricity, and then there are like small fees here and there. I don't even want to know how much you pay to just be able to move into the apartment. It's crazy. Just for the contrast, why I'm so pissed about that, because like, I'm Ukrainian, and in Ukraine, to rent an apartment, all you have to do is that you go to the apartment, you like the apartment, you take the apartment, you pay a 2-month rent, and you pay agency fees, which is half of the price of the 1-month rent. Nothing else. Anyway, sorry, this is the longest video ever. Thank you for watching. I hope you liked it, and I'll see you in my next video. Subscribe to see the other videos and the moving apartment tour and stuff. Bye bye.